are kicking off this first weekend in June, celebrating the June issue of Today's Woman magazine. And I'm so excited to celebrate with Tawana Bain here today, joining us, not only to chat with us, but to co-host the show.
Well, good
what
morning.
A wild ride you've had here recently, right?
I know.
I feel like well, the last time we saw you was Backside Derby Week.
That's right. That's right.
Right?
I was like, I can do
Coming
this.
off Derby Diversity
I can do
Week.
this.
Nothing going on. Nothing going on.
Nothing
You want me
going
to
on
show
at
up
all.
at 7 o'clock in my hat? Absolutely. I'll be backside, right? What a wild ride.
That's what we do as businesswomen, don't we?
Crazy.
Yeah,
and you
I
had
know.
a little bit of time off.
I did.
Hopefully you got to relax a little bit.
It was
You deserve
amazing.
it, Tawana.
It was amazing. Took
Right.
the kids and the grandkids down to Florida, and you were my first work project back home.
Yes.
Here we go.
Well, what a thing to celebrate. And I wanted to let you know I'm celebrating. We made a custom tee.
I love
I
that.
want everybody to see this because I'll stand up just a little bit.
I
so
love it.
Today's Woman logo, and I love Tawana's catchphrase, "We see you, sis," which represents she sees you truly for who you are,
Yeah.
right? And I wanted to let you know I see you too, so we made you a tee too.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
That is so cool.
Tawana's gonna look at this and she's gonna go, wait a minute. Maybe I should be marketing my own merchandise. This is what giving Tawana a tee. But anyway, our friends at Dirty Tees always, they're a local shop here in the Highlands.
I
and
love that.
we love them for what they do to kind of spread the word of diversity and
I should've
inclusion
put
in the
this on.
community. Well, you know,
That's
we
so
have time.
cool.
You can go change.
I
Don't
might
worry.
do that.
We have so much to unpack here, but I feel like it has been like a wild ride for you the past couple of months. And then, I mean, this issue, Tawana, I mean, this is a big deal in the Kentuckiana community because I feel like this has been going on for 20 years. This is the 20th annual Most Admired Women Awards. The Most Admired Woman. This is your cover, Hannah Drake, the amazing Hannah Drake that I think is doing, and I know you'll agree, what an incredible job speaking up, speaking out, and making us uncomfortable in a really, really good way, which we need to be.
We do need to be, and she does it better than anyone that I know. Her ability to take words, and whether you agree or disagree with what it is that she's saying, she makes you ponder.
Yeah.
And anybody that can make a person think is all right with me.
Well, she makes us aware that we have so far to go. We have a lot. And so I think it was probably a very easy choice for you when votes come in. We'll talk a little bit about the process of how, because you had an overwhelming outpouring of support from this community because there are so many categories. To put Hannah on the cover, I think it continues to set Today's Woman magazine apart. It continues to set the conversational tone, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, when I took over Today's Woman, what became very, very apparent to me in listening to all of the women was it was just more than a magazine, right? As cliche as it sounds, it is a movement. It is a way for women to connect, to be heard, to be seen, to celebrate, to empower each other. And that doesn't just happen in a magazine and on pages, right? That's real, that's our real life.
Yeah.
And so to be able to capture that spirit on and off the pages, I'm in heaven with my job.
Well, this is the 20th anniversary of the Most Admired Women, and it's not just one category. It's celebrating women in a variety of categories, from media to health to fitness. What did you see in all those women that were selected? And you had not only an outpouring of nominations, but an outpouring of people that voted. Yeah,
we did something new. A lot of the feedback that I received very early on, and this is certainly not a slight at all to the previous women that have owned the publication, that we just want to see more representation. And it's not just, you know, as a Black female, not just from the Black community, but I've heard it from the Asian community. I've heard it from the Latina community. And at the end of the day, I'm a woman, right? And so I want to be able to amplify the voices of all women. And when I decided, you know, to really take heed to a lot of the feedback that we were given, I said, we've got to open the nomination up because we are proximity creatures. We know who we know.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult to nominate women that you don't know who are out there doing really amazing stuff. So the community played a significant role in us having a very, very diverse group of nominees. And I mean, like, I promise you, I slacked off on so many other work projects that I have because once the nominations went live, I was floored. I mean, Louisville certainly was by far the biggest participants in the voting, but we had people from all around the world.
Oh, wow.
Asia, Africa. I mean, it was like, I was so fixated on like, wow, women, and it goes to, a lot of it demonstrated to me that women really do support each other.
Oh, yeah.
And so as much as you hear about the women that aren't, that was a moment for me to live in a bubble when women really do. And men too. Men were up there voting for women. So
well,
it was awesome.
The process was, like you mentioned, you don't want it to be don't want it to be a popularity contest of the same 5 women that win everything. Let's be honest. It's like, here they are again. Right. Great, give them an award. Awesome. So the truth. So it was nice because when you put out kind of the word of these are the women that are nominated, and here's why you need to vote on your social media feed, for me, it put me in somebody else's Facebook feed or lane, right? That, oh, I don't know her. What is she doing? And so that opened my eyes to somebody that maybe, oh, she's doing great things. I felt bad. I didn't know about it, right? And so you succeeded in allowing us to cross lanes, I think, a little bit and seeing a little bit more of what is your life like. And that's the whole point, right?
That's the whole point. That's the whole point. But hearing it from someone on the outside looking in is just more of an affirmation that, you know, we're heading down the right track.
You are.
And that was the goal. But here's the beauty of it, Claudia. There's a lot of women that were nominated that I didn't know either.
Really?
Didn't know them. Didn't have a clue. And so it was like, wow, and she's amazing. And it's just, you know, at the end of the day, we have so much going on as women in our lives, and every day is not perfect. But man, when somebody takes the moment to recognize you,
it's a big deal.
It's a big deal. And so I said, you know, like, even with the Most Admired Woman Awards, I know it's another event. We have a lot on our plates, but it's like, we're going to stop and we're going to roll the red carpet out for them because that's what we should be doing. And if we got a little bit more of that in our lives, there'll be a little extra pep in your step. There certainly is in mine when I get kudos for things, right? And interestingly enough, I was driving here this morning, and you know, you think about all the things that could go wrong or all the things that somebody may not like. And so often, that's the world that a lot of people live in. They live in the world of everybody that picks apart what they're doing.
And the world of this isn't something's not going to go right at all today.
No.
Every day.
Every day. No, it's not. Right? So sure, some people may roll their eyes at it, but girl, if I could live in a world where people are giving me positive energy every day, that's a world I want to wake up in.
We have a shortened show today, so at 9:30, the Today's Woman show rolls out, and that features interviews with Hannah Drake, Lynetta Crawford, and Whitney Powers.
Yes.
What are you excited about the most with those 3 women?
Oh, man.
Where do you begin? You can't even fit that into 30 minutes.
Girl. So, and it would not have been for 30 minutes had your producer not told us time.
You only got 30 minutes.
Right. The beauty of it is, two of the 3 of them were finalists or winners in their categories for Most Admired Woman. And one recently released the pressure, has done some significant work. She's the president over the Alpha Kappa Alpha Omega Phi Psi chapter for Louisville. And what I recognized is that when you get on set, so it's interesting being on this side, right, having this conversation with you. You get into a conversation with like a friend, a girlfriend, and there's just so much to learn about these women. And I do a terrible job at staying on script. It is so hard for me, but it's also the beauty in what ends up coming out of the conversation.
Right.
And I did not expect some of the things that came out of the conversation.
Ooh, that's a tease.
It's a tease.
That's
like
a tease.
The Hannah conversation, I still think about.
Well, that was.
I thought about on vacation, right? It was thought provoking.
Yeah.
She's coming from a different angle than she's ever come before. Whitney Powers. A brain tumor. You got out of the hospital the day before, and you're sitting on set with me. I mean, women are just so magnificent.
Yeah.
There's just so much to be shared. So.
We can't wait to get into more. 9:30. Watch all the full interviews with Tawana featuring Hannah, Lynetta, and Whitney Powers. It's going to be a great, there they are, great show. Looking forward to it so much.
Looking
But
fabulous
stick around,
and
Tawana,
fierce.
because we're going to be featuring that half-hour special, like we said, with all those interviews. And if you want to learn more, and if you definitely want to pick up a copy of Today's Woman magazine, get started. Go to todayswoman.com.